Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey, we're back for another installation of my top 100 games of all times with my very faithful backup chorus.
Compadres.
Yeah. Zee Garcia.
Crummy games.
And Sam Healey.
You list honks.
Thank you, guys. So, with friends like that. Today, we'll start with number 60. And this is a new game to the list, although it's a new version of an older game.
All right.
And that's because I like dexterity games. And this one is Catacombs. Catacombs is a dungeon crawl style game where you're flicking discs around, or in the new version, a gelatinous cube. And
Is this actually a gelatinous cube?
Yes.
yeah, that's a big cube
Well,
with stickers on it.
It's more like a die, yeah.
Is it
wooden
gelatinous
die.
though?
It is
No,
not
it's not
gelatinous.
It's just
There's
a
no.
solid
It's
cube.
wooden, yeah.
Can
That'd
you
be
imagine
cool.
flicking Jello around the
That's what I'm
board?
saying, man. Bring it.
I do have a certain tending to like flicking games.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see them on the list just because I tend to like those style games.
I'm thinking probably then there's another one there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that may be true. But Catacombs, I like the strong dungeon flavor to it. I think it does a dungeon crawl in a pretty good way. And it's fast and easy to get through. And the new one is a beautiful set.
Yeah, I was gonna say
some
if you're gonna
stickers.
put-
I don't mind it so much as it being on your list. I don't agree that it has a strong dungeon crawl feel to it because I don't know, dungeon crawls I want them to be a little bit more precise. You can mess up on flicking your piece and it goes somewhere you just did not intend for it to go.
Well, that's the same thing as maybe rolling a 1.
I guess so, but I don't know. With these dexterity kind of games, I'm going to agree more with the other ones that are on your list. Probably, this one is.
Well, I was gonna say that if you are gonna put this game on your list, at least I'm glad it's the new version,
Yeah.
which is heads and shoulders, and then another
Way
head
better.
and another shoulder on top of the original one, because the original one just looked so
Yeah. but
blah. I mean, the original one is a very ugly
so many
game.
Stickers.
There's a bunch of stickers on the new one, but I mean, the saving grace there is that I didn't put them on.
All right. My number 59 has been on the list since it's come out on Kickstarter. I know you guys will agree with me on this one, and that is Alien Frontiers. Still a solid game. Now, recently they've released like these mini expansions for it, like 7, I think they're up to.
Yep.
I have the first one. It's like Alien Faction Pack 1.
Right.
And I guess I'll get around to getting the other ones and trying them out. I don't know. But I mean, even without them, I like the game a lot. It's on my list where it is, though. And it's higher than Kingsburg, which I like. I've already mentioned Kingsburg.
Right.
Because I like the factions. I like differentiating between the different factions. And I also like the space theme. Kingsburg is neat, but the theme is barely there.
But with the expansion, I think you get the same feel as the factions because you can make your village different.
No, I'm not arguing that. So but I don't know. I just like having the special thing that only I can do.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I think I probably like Alien Frontiers better than Kingsburg too, although I like the simplicity that Kingsburg has.
That is true.
Kind of goes away with Alien Frontiers.
That is true. But Alien Frontiers isn't that complex, and I like it a lot. I don't have the rocket dice, and probably will never get
You
them.
need to get on those rocket dice. That's the way to play.
Somebody else needs to get on those rocket dice and make them better.
Yeah, we went and looked at them at Gen Con, and they don't look very good. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Alien Frontiers, a great game.
My only disagreement here is that it's not in your top 50. I think it is a definite top 50.
Wow, so you put it on the list, and you're getting garbage for putting it on the list.
Too low.
It's too low.
All right.
Just saying.
I'm on board with you, man.
My number 58 came on the list last year, but I want to make a quick note before you guys know what it is anyway in a moment, but just because I'm working hard, if you guys know, with Arcane Wonders to put out a line of Dice Tower Essentials. Not every game on that Dice Tower Essentials will be in my top 100 just because of sheer mathematics. They'll all be in my top 3, 4, 500 probably because I think they're great games. But if they all fit in the top 100, eventually my top 100 will be the Dice Tower Essentials line, and that's just impossible.
There's going to be 100 of those.
Well, maybe. Well, we can hope. But anyway, number 58 is Sheriff of Nottingham, which is a solid game. You can say I'm pandering because it's in the Dice Tower Essentials line, but but it doesn't matter because I put it in the Dice Tower Essentials line because I liked it that much.
Right, there you go.
And when Arcane Wonders worked on it, I mean, I thought it was already a really good game as Robin Hood and Heart and de Grands, and now the new version is it's marvelous. And I'm so happy to see that many people agree with that. It's constantly in play.
You could just save yourself some work and just say the Dice Tower Essentials are my top 100.
But that's impossible because other companies are making games I like a lot. I wish they were in the Dice Tower Essentials, but they're not.
They just need to make them Dice Tower Essentials.
All right.
Save you some trouble making this list, that's for sure.
That would help. Number 57 is the third game on the third year that it's been on this list, and I will include its new cousin, the Jarl, in it, but it's the Duke.
The Duke.
The Duke.
Nice.
It's not a game about John Wayne.
I don't think most people watch this show are old enough to even get that
really.
reference.
Wow. Educate yourselves, people.
Let's play some
That
tiles
is
out, partner.
Somebody that you need to know existed.
Interestingly enough, this was my birthday. I found this website where you can put in your birthday and find out the top movie at that point, and it was The Shootist, which is his last movie John Wayne ever made. But that's getting off the point. The Duke. The Duke is an abstract game where you're pulling tiles from a bag. The tile tells you how the piece moves. When you move it, you then flip it over, and they move differently on both sides of the tile. It's a really cool concept. The Jarl, which is a Vikings one, is the same thing, although it has a very different feel. It's more close combat, while the Duke has more pieces that slide across the board, and they're compatible with each other. And they're talking about making a third one in the series that's samurai, and the pieces are on bamboo.
They got ideas for a couple more actually, but yeah, there's talks of possibly one in an Asian setting, a Japanese setting, I guess it is, and the pieces being made of bamboo. It just sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. But
that's brilliant.
I think it's my favorite abstract game. I think it's the highest abstract game on this list because I do like theme, but I think this is a solid game, and I know you both like it. You really like it.
I really like it. Yeah.
It's very fun.
So anyway, the Duke. All right, here we go. Number 56.
There's got to be I was about to say there's got to be a garbage game coming because he's not getting any garbage from us.
I'm not going to get.
He's had a few in a row that have been good, right?
They're like, yeah.
No, this isn't a garbage game.
Okay, here we go. Come on.
It's just that he's going to get me garbage for it being number 56.
Come on.
My number 56 is Twilight Imperium 3.
He's going to say it's too low in your top 100, and I'm going to say, why is it anywhere near your top 100?
Now, look.
I'm turning green, Shrek.
I would not be surprised if in a year or two this isn't even in my top 100.
Because you never play it.
That's right.
And that is the reasoning behind it.
But it is a choice that he makes, not because he doesn't have opportunity to.
I think it's a choice that time makes for him.
No, it is not.
It is partially a choice that time makes because Twilight Imperium does take a while to play. I have to schedule a
Also, he wants
day
to
around
keep his
it.
friends.
Okay, anyhow.
I am friends with everybody.
Twilight Imperium has been on my list, though, ever since I've started putting this together. It drops a little bit each year. Last year was 41, then 26. It has been in the top 10 before because when I do play it, it is a sublime experience. It's really fun. You really get involved. Time seems to stand still. It does not, but it seems to. There's a lot going on, and you have a great time, which is why it's in the top 100.
Okay.
But because I play it a lot less, that's why it's dropped out of the top 50.
Okay.
And again, for those watching, I am not saying that any of these games are objectively better than others. I'm saying these are where I would rank me wanting to play them right now.
But
if we tag this onto your Dice Tower Essentials line thing, this came after that blurb. So, are you going to get TI3 as Dice Tower Essentials?
As soon as Fantasy Flight publishes Twilight Imperium 4th edition, he's going to publish 3rd.
Star Wars.
Oh yes, that would be cool.
Sure. You'll go back and publish the first one.
Star Wars edition of TI3
Yeah, if that happens,
Dice Tower Essentials.
it will be back on my list next year. Let's watch. That's a threat, Christian. If this is off my list,
Wow.
make it Star Wars or else.
Make it so.
Number 55 is on my list with a caveat because the actual game of this I hardly ever play at a table, but instead as a game show, it is my favorite party game of this style, and that is Wits and Wagers. I like Wits and Wagers as a game, sitting down. It's fun to play, but because it works so well with large groups, and I consider that still a board game. I'm playing with 50, well, we played this year at Dice Tower Con with over 100 people in that one game. You know, and
Almost 100, I think 110.
it was a lot.
I think you had 11 teams, and each team had 10 people.
We had 1/10 of the convention was in our game. If that keeps going as the convention gets bigger, we're going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, we will.
But in that setting, it is just amazing. It works so well. And I know that North Star Game only wants to talk about evolution these days, but there was just something about Wits and Wagers. It's one of those perfect games that works well, and all you have to do is come up with new questions, and there's a ton in the box as it is. And the discussions and the arguments and stuff, I really like it. I was just at Toys R Us the other day and saw Wits and Wagers, the party version, which is decent, but I still like the original Wits and Wagers because I love the betting aspect to it. Which the party one has a little bit of the betting, but it's not so critical. You can't lose all your money.
I prefer the one with the
The meeples?
no, I forget if it's the family or the party one where it has the cartoon people like the cowboy and the lady with the big feathers and the what's that one? Is that the family one?
I think
or
it's
is-
both of them. I don't know. They're very, very similar.
Anyway, I no longer prefer the original because I don't actually like that. I can bet as much as I want to. I can. The betting stops mattering when at the end I can just bomb everything and at the end go, it's all on this one, and I might still win.
I don't know what it is. People get excited about that. I really like it.
But I prefer the ones they've done after the original.
All right. All right. Number 55 or 54, Pandemic Schmandemic. Yeah,
An expansion?
I said it.
That's the new one?
No. I like Pandemic, but I like fantasy creatures more, I think, in this setting, and that's Defenders of the Realm.
Defenders of the Realm.
If Pandemic is not higher on this list somewhere, then I do have beef with it.
Haven't I already done Pandemic?
You did?
I feel like I did. I don't think it's coming up.
Yeah, you think?
I think Pandemic came up a long time ago. Was that like, oh yeah, here it is, 127.
Come on, man. Let's see some of that 3 rage, bro.
That ain't right?
All right, but Defenders of the Realm, and this is a game that's, I guess was recently re-released. I can't remember. Eagle's really weird about when they release stuff. But there's multiple ways to play it, and when I first played it in the prototype form way back in the day, I started playing. I was like, wow, I'm playing this barbarian, and I feel like I'm playing a barbarian. It wasn't just die rolling, and it's comparable to Pandemic. It really is, because you have these armies marching in and spreading out. But there's a lot of different things, and I love going through, and I'm not just collaborating with teammates to find a cure, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I really like Pandemic, but I like swinging a sword and killing orcs and stuff better.
My number 1 is still on his list.
Now look, again, 127 is pretty high.
It's not high. No, it's not on the list. It's not on the list.
All right, so my number 54, Defenders of the Realm. Number 53 is a game that's on the list for the second year, although technically the first edition of this has been on the list since it's come out, and that's Cash and Guns, the second edition. The new mini expansion with more cash, more guns, adds a lot of fun and flavor to the game, but adds almost no extra complexity.
So the first one is definitely gone now, huh?
Well, they're the same in a sense. I mean, there's some
1 is definitely better than the other.
No,
2
no.
is better than 1.
Right, I understand that, but I'm saying even if let's say I still like one a lot, let's say that was the only game we had, I would still play it, right? But when there's 2 versions of the same game, I wouldn't put them both on the list unless they're dramatically different.
Okay, right.
So, Cash and Guns 2, though, just the whole aspect of it, the team thing is still missing from the Cash and Guns, the original expansion Yakuza. I would like to see that come back for Cash and Guns too.
Okay.
But I still like it. I like the new artwork better. I know that I'm not in the majority, I think, on that one.
I definitely like the original artwork.
I like the original artwork, but I like Kovlik's artwork, and I also like how smooth the new one plays. Getting rid of the Bang 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 cards, when I first heard about that, I thought it was a terrible idea. Then I played it, and I was like, oh, it works much better this way.
The new artwork I think is better too. I'm on board with the new artwork. The old artwork was just...
He agrees with me.
Okay.
All right, my number 53, Cash and Guns. Well, Sam will like my number 52 is a Euro game which has just been announced to be reprinted by Tasty Minstrel Games, and that is Colosseum.
Tasty Minstrel Games, you better do this right.
I honestly do not understand why this game does not get more love. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the different Days of Wonder games, they've made some great ones and they've made some okay ones that haven't got a lot of love.
Right.
You know, like the Mystery Express and different things like that. And this is in their okay pile, really, by terms of how much it's sold and stuff. And I don't understand it because every time I play it, I have a blast. It's one of the best 5-player games I know. When I have 5 people, it's like, hey, we can play Colosseum because there's like no slowdown in the game, really.
Right.
And you're constantly trading. Now, we do house rule that the trading is
Simultaneous.
and I think that's one of those necessary house rule type things. But
The original...
stick that in your game, by the way, Tasty Minstrel.
The original rule is clunky. It slows the game down.
Right, you trade, I trade, Z trades.
Simultaneously speeds up that part of the game.
But the theme, I think, is really strong. The theme is original. I don't know. There's like no other game about putting on shows in ancient Rome.
Right. The setting is used, but the way that they employ that setting is neat.
And the components are just out of this world. It's just a really good combo. And it's designed by one of the most famous game designers there is, Wolfgang Kramer. And, you know, he gets a lot of love for his other games.
You're not on this one really much, are you?
I think it's all right. Yeah, you guys both definitely like it more than I do.
Yeah.
We'll make up for that because you and I are on the next one and he'll be off this boat.
Having a background in theater, I thought, you know.
My parents are Chinese also.
Moving on. All right, well, you'll be back on board here and you're off this train.
There we go. Come on, baby. Pandemic.
It's a party game.
Just kidding.
It's a party game, and this one has been on the list since it's come out. It actually is higher than last year, although I don't know why, really. And that's Dixit.
Yeah.
Dixit. I love Dixit.
Is Dixit a better game than TI3?
In the world of Vasel!
In this world.
This is the last game of the bottom half of my top 100, but it is a solid party game. That would be a really horrible
I don't
reason.
live in this world any longer. It's Vasel's world.
Dixit is a game in which you have these really cool, freaky pictures, and you are basically trying to get in the psyche of other players. You'll say anything you want as you put a card down. Everyone else puts cards down, you mix them up, and I have to guess which card you put down. With all the different sets, I think they just came out with another one.
There is now... If you got every card now, it's a stack this tall, I think.
Which I actually like because it mixes it up and how it plays. You can... some people say that Mysterium takes Dixit and makes it a better game. But if you'll notice, Mysterium is not in my top 100, not even in my top 500 probably, but I really do like Dixit. And every time I teach it to people, it's one of those games that I think I can teach people who've never played any games before, and yet I don't feel like I'm like, all right, here we go, apples again. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to play Dixit. This is a fun game to play.
The thing about Dixit is it's so outside the box that it almost catches people by surprise. You know, when you tell someone, this game is about, I'm going to say something and put a photo drawing down there, and so will all of you, and then you have to guess which one was mine. People are like, what? It's such a weird game. It's very unique, and I think that's why it's got the staying power, you know, because it is really original. It's a truly original idea.
I'll agree that it's a really weird game.
All right.
Let's see how this is.
All right. Well, anyhow, there we go. We're halfway through the list now. The stuff only gets better from here on out.
Stuff all the good ones already.
Well, according to me, anyway. I got some new games in the next top 10. Come back and find out.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.